everybody? Welcome to GT Live. I'm joined by Elise Williams. What's up, Elise?
Hey, not much. Just excited to be here today for a very special reason. The Blue Jays won tonight.
Whoa! Really? Is that it? Is that?
No, that's not it. That's not it.
Well, yeah, we have guests. They're special guests and they're special guests. But our guest today is Mr. A J Locascio.
Hey.
Who, aside from being just generally cool, and aside from is a relevant video game guest. As a former employee of GameTrailers.com, someone we worked with on lots of different fun projects over the years, and somebody that we like to hang out with. The two of you have spent more time together because you guys actually socialize.
We love AJ.
We do love AJ, and AJ loves you.
AJ, good friend, make good friends.
Ian,
AJ love games.
Do you have a camera, Ian, for this?
Yes,
I do have a camera.
Nice. You two are acquaintances, correct?
We've been acquainted. Yeah, Ian?
We're lovers.
This is
nasty.
True. But don't say it's on the internet, so I think
right.
that someone
Oh,
might
never mind. We're not.
Speaking of love, we're playing Yoshi Woolly World, which is being played by Mr. Brad Ellis and Mr. Daniel Bloodworth. Bloodworth first volunteered to play the game, and we mentioned that we're going to be playing this for the episode, but Brad jumped in right after that. Are you a fan of Woolly World, Mr. Ellis?
Yeah, this game's awesome. I'm having a blast playing this.
I missed out on all of the Yoshi stuff. Did you play any of the Yoshi games, AJ?
Yoshi's Island. I'm playing Justin in Gelmo, former employee of Game Trailers. He's like, it's his favorite game of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
You are playing that game?
I'm playing currently on Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On the actual Super Nintendo? Like on a cartridge on
It's
a Super Nintendo?
It's a Retron
Oh, okay.
trio.
But it's
so it's close.
Yeah, so did he have the cartridge around? So he actually handed you?
He has two of them, because that's how him and his girlfriend met or something. Was they bonded over Tamra? Yeah. Why am I telling? I shouldn't be telling.
No, it's I said
Internet.
speaking of love, that's why we're playing it. So that's
that
seems
all
appropriate.
But,
Yoshi bringing people together.
It's a beautiful game.
By eating stuff and barfing it at people.
Everything's happy in Yoshi, like all his enemies. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Before we get swept up in Yoshi, we're giving away codes too.
We are giving away codes
for animal gods.
For animal gods, which Blood. What do you know about animal gods?
Shoot. I gave you a description. I don't remember.
It looks like a puzzle-based game.
Yeah,
looks like
I
some
think
kind of like an adventure.
We're probably totally
game.
wrong on all of this.
It was kickstarted, and I mean, we'll give you the codes, and then you can find out too. It kind of has that very like classic a Super NES vibe to it.
Yeah, to me it looks like a top-down like adventure puzzle game. I'm not seeing lots of combat here. Seeing lots of talking with people, lots of story stuff.
There's a little bit.
They don't like thistle.
Are you intrigued?
That's what I got
Ian?
out of that.
Yeah.
Would you like to visit a castle in the sky, Mr. Hank?
That looks really small. It looks very Hyperlight Drifter to me.
That's what I was thinking.
Ooh.
So who knows? It looks kind of
platformy.
cool.
It's really beautiful.
That's literally
Yeah.
Hyperlight Drifter.
Kind of
right
like
there.
Samurai Jack a little bit, but like
Looks
really
cool,
far
though.
away.
But it's the kind of game where, yeah, you might, it kind of looks like Below a little bit.
Cloak
Like,
of
it might
Flame.
intrigue you just from screenshots and the like, maybe from a trailer here and there. But you're not sure if you're going to check it out. But if you throw a question at us, more specifically at Mr. Locascio, and you get a free code, it's perfect. So we're going to have people, they're going to throw questions at us. Chibi Weezy, a.k.a. Willems, in the chat there will gather the questions, and then we will toss them at you at the end of the show.
Awesome. I have no idea what's going on.
Let's see what happens.
Whatever you need me to do, just like puppeteer me.
For people that don't know you, should get acquainted. So you used to be an editor. Did you just do editing, or did you? I know you VO'd a couple things.
I just random thing, but usually you'd come in and go, no, that's not true.
That's exactly what I did.
I did some temp stuff for you once or twice, and it was like, we'll get Brandon because he's a lot better at being Brandon. But no, just
you can be many people.
But I just wanted to be
can't be
you. That's my whole life is in pursuit of just being you.
Well, but it actually brings up an interesting point. So we've had lots of voice actors on the show before. We haven't really talked about voice matching a lot. And you've done some voice matching in your day. Hopefully you do some voice matching maybe later on in the show. But what would you think if someone voice matched you? If someone was like, I can do a mean AJ, and they had like the hair and the voice and everything,
That'd be great. That would mean I made it. I did it.
They like,
I transcended.
Halloween's coming up. This is like is my favorite month.
Yes.
I know it's your favorite month.
Yeah.
Do you have your Halloween costume all picked out?
I sadly don't. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I have so many random things lying around the house that I might do, but it's all just kind of like, all right, boys, who's gonna step up to bat? Not sure which one's gonna happen.
So yeah, so there were various things that I know lots of tangent people just try to catch up. So I know there's various things that you and I connected on, Star Wars, anything Lucas touched and then walked away from.
Like Spielberg's heart.
Exactly. Hey. But specifically, actually, Ian, I just noticed you walked by with your phone and you got your super cool case on today. Do you swap cases, or is that the case you always have for your phone?
I have no case for my phone.
You have no case for your phone?
It's an illusion.
Are you talking about his phone case?
Was that? Oh, is that what
Mine,
you
the
picked
Haunted
up?
Mansion?
Oh, I thought that was
Yeah,
yours.
that's
I was
me.
like, wow, Ian Hink rocking the
That's-
Haunted Mansion.
I got Haunted
No,
Mansion.
I
don't know
don't.
if
Case
camera
back
can't
there,
see
yeah.
it. Haunted
Did you get that at
Mansion.
Disneyland proper?
I think so. Erica, my lovely girlfriend, got it for me. She's like,
Woo!
"You're surprised," and I was like, "You do love me."
And you have like whittled and chiseled your living quarters to emulate the Haunted Mansion?
Well, okay, so my last apartment was very Haunted Mansion-y and insane, and I painted it to look like the wallpaper and lighting, and I had a rain rig outside my window, which my neighbors did not like.
A
'Cause
rain
it was
rig?
A rain, like I set up, I was super poor at the time, and I had, for some reason, I was like, I'm gonna go to Home Depot and buy a pipe and drill holes in it and set it up above. There was like a trellis outside my window. And I hooked up the hose, and you could lean out. I could lean out the window and turn on the hose, and it looked like it was raining outside my window. And I would put on Haunted Mansion-y
It's like
music
the Addams
for guests.
Family in
I know
there.
it's insane, but
Wait a
I was
minute.
like, well, this is why not?
AJ, it wasn't
yes.
even like a loop. It didn't have a pump. You were just wasting hose water.
Hey man, I only did it for guests. We weren't in a drought yet, but that might be
That's
the cause
true.
of it.
AJ
Yeah.
caused the drought.
They're trying to figure that out right now, whether
Yeah,
they would just
seeing-
fine you a lot or whether they would shut down your water.
Yeah, somewhere in Los Feliz there seems to be an unnecessary amount of water weight. Well, it was going into the garden next door. There was a little garden there. There was.
As long as it gets back to the earth, yeah, that's all
Yeah,
that matters.
it was going back.
There's
in.
at least one viewer that's just like,
That's
they're
that
immediately
jerk.
just right now, just like there's like some laptop on their desk that's empty, the chair's spinning because they're outside like trying to find a hose,
I have to hook up a thing. Yeah, I don't know why I did it, but yeah, that and now it's sort of like my new apartment's like a castle-y theme with
It's
like
awesome.
stone on the wall, and it's because why not?
So
Two
when you
matching caskets for you
Yes,
to lay to rest
that I
in.
go to sleep in.
There are floating magical candles all over the ceiling.
It's true. Because my girlfriend
float.
and I love Harry Potter. And we love specifically the architecture of the movies.
Yeah.
So we'll take little bits and pieces of that, and then like the cloisters in New York, she loves that. So we have like tapestries and things from that we make. Because why not? But
So all of the elements from your old apartment, did you just leave that there when you moved out, or
they're
what?
sort of just like in our bedroom. Like
Oh, okay.
there's bits and pieces that we have like around. There's like a Halloween sort of section, but other than that, it's all we've sort of rehauled it, retooled it, so now it's more medieval.
I wish I had like a bunch of pictures, just like I rated your Facebook page, and
Yeah,
now here's
here they
tons of
are.
pictures of your apartment.
It just sounds insane without that. But yeah, what were we talking about?
Well,
My brain just went.
we're talking about you. We're having people get to know you before they ask you pointed, uncomfortable questions.
Yes.
So you're doing some acting. You're on a show now.
I am on a show, yeah. The Croods, which I can actually finally talk about, which is a DreamWorks show. They had the movie, and now they have a show on Netflix. And yeah, I play Thunk, who's just kind of like he everything kind of talks like this. He's really excited about things, and he's this crazy, bouncy, fun. It was Clark Duke talk about voice matching earlier. He did the original character, and then I do sort of my own take on that. But yeah, that's been really cool.
Sounds out of the century, man.
That was a joy that
Audacious.
you would always apologize because we had the VO booth in my office,
Yeah.
and you would do auditions out of the booth, and you'd be like, I'm sorry, I just got to use this. I'm like, this was the highlight of my day. I love this. Like, get in there, because you'd go in, and you'd just be like, look, Batman, we got to go down and blah blah blah, and then like you'd walk out, and I'm like, go on. And you're like, it's a DVD. I can't talk about.
I can't talk about it.
I'm just
Yeah.
like,
I would
right
make him
there.
like beg my forgiveness in whatever voice I wanted.
What? Say that again?
I would make you beg if you had to apologize to Brandon for this. I would make you apologize to me in whatever voice I wanted you to.
Oh, that would be yes.
Can we do that now?
Okay. What voice?
I've always wanted you to do your Marty McFly, but he's never done it. that
For
I've heard
you?
it. Yeah.
That's weird. People just
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just ask somebody to do
I've
it.
asked him 100 times.
All right, I'm ready.
You gotta have
I'm
something.
ready.
You gotta, like, write
did-
something out, or
Did
like
we
have a
even
specific.
did we mention that he was Marty McFly in the Back to the Future game?
It's largely irrelevant. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
in the great
nobody
scheme of
cares.
things,
No,
it's just kind of a blip, on his life story. Not something I really wanted to get into.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, it is. I mean, I figured once we started the Back to the Future conversation, we would just kind of
It would get
we
into
would just
that.
get lost in
People
it. and just
really
kinda
want to
like-
hear that I once worked at a TGI Fridays. That's the stuff they want to hear about.
Yeah.
They don't care about Marty McFly.
And you did your Marty McFly voice
Yeah.
at TGI McFly.
Hey, would you like JD sauce with that? Or yes. That was a
Well, you
lazy
did-
Marty.
You
That
did
wasn't a full.
Well, you did someone's birthday party or something, like a gift one time. Like I remember you came in the booth and you're like, "Hey, happy birthday, man!" Like,
I get that all the time.
We're back at the garage and just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. You know, like
It's always. I mean, it's really sweet.
it's like,
it's
oh
cool.
no, what bet did you lose?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it's fun to do. It's cool. People are like, "Hey, you know, my friend's a real big fan. Can you do a birthday message?" Or I've had things where people ask me to do something that I wouldn't normally do. Like I had someone do. Who was it? From The Fugitive, Tommy Lee Jones. And it was like this. It was this crazy love letter, basically, and it was insane. I can't say any of the names, but I don't do Tommy Lee Jones. I was like, "Hey, I love you," and it was insane. But they wanted me to do it like
it.
What was that?
It sounded nothing like it.
I mean, it ultimately, like, I got myself to a place where it was like, "Oh, okay, that's passable," and the guy really liked it. But it was just this. They wanted me to do it as Tommy Lee Jones screaming in the future. It was a specific kind of Tommy Lee Jones. So I was like giving orders.
Your Marty and yourself came into my life months from apart. Like I'll never forget. We had our old capture area when we were at Viacom, and I was just walking by and somebody was playing it one time, and I just like grabbed him and I'm like, "Can we just talk for 5 seconds? How just terrifyingly amazing this Marty is, whoever the hell this guy is.
That's
like,
crazy.
Where did they find this guy?" He's like, "Yeah, that's pretty crazy." And I'm like, "Cause that's Christopher Lloyd, right?" And like, yeah, and that's Michael J. Fox. Wow, crazy. Like 4 weeks later, they're just like, "Oh, Jones, that guy who did the voice." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm just waiting." Like he got in a car accident. He, a plane fell on him. Like he got fired. They caught him with a big bag of coke, and they got kicked out. I'm just waiting. Like what news do you have? And they're like, "He's in that room right there. He's like editing for us now."
Yeah, that was Jeremy. Jeremy, I went to because he was a fan of Back to the Future, and then I like randomly asked for a friend like if he needed anyone to work there because my friend had just moved here, and he was like, "Well, we need editors, like freelance part-time editors." And I was like, "I edit? That sounds like fun. For what? Game trailers? Yeah, sure." And so he just sort of just squeezed me in there.
I think he like brought Justin in too because he was doing Hey Ash, and then was like, "Oh, I need work," and Jeremy said, "Come on in."
It's such a weird mesh of people that all got squished into that.
Well, and then we get
cool.
and then we get you, and we get Justin, and we get Ian together, and then what happens?
Seedlings.
Hey,
Seedlings is birth.
And
the
John
number one
Finger,
show
too.
on Xbox, circa 1924. What was
Yeah.
that?
I don't know.
way back in 2012.
Yeah.
13 and 14 too, I think.
We did pretty good.
We did all right.
The Seedlings.
But yeah, I was in one of those episodes too. I'm the British guy. At the beginning
You're
of the
every
series.
episode. You're in
I'm
every
episode,
single
yeah.
episode of Seedlings.
Secret,
And
uncredited
I was
in every
a
episode.
cultist later on in the show.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true.
Um,
In 212, I think. The last episode online.
but you did. You were the main character, Mark.
Mark.
There you
job,
go.
good
That's
job.
right.
Mark is like
I watched
cranky
some of
me.
that show.
Yeah, Mark's so angry all the time.
Me too. Mark Seedlings. I could never forget
Beautiful.
him. Loved Mark Seedlings.
My favorite character I've ever voiced.
Mark Seedlings.
Mark Seedlings. Mark Seedlings. He changed his name during the war because it was too German. He used to be Mark Seedlingschleiben.
All true.
Shortened it. That's so
Well, that
stupid.
concludes the game.
Yeah,
Who the
thanks
hell are
for
you?
having me.
And what else? What the hell are you up to?
He's every voice in Schrodinger's cat, too.
Schrodinger's cat. I voiced every voice in that.
And
It
he's
was
got a-
small, beautiful little game.
He's got a great Kevin Smith story that I hope somebody already asked about it
About
in
Kevin
the
Smith?
comments.
Oh, okay. Can we save
We
that?
say
for the
we
end
can
of the
save that
show?
for the end of the show, but
do.
stay tuned, everyone.
Because you do want to talk briefly about Yoshi's Woolly World.
Let's talk about Yoshi.
So how is the co-op feel for you guys? Like, are you like? I know there's been some Nintendo co-op games that are like not really cooperative. Like, it's kind of like you're both like trying to beat each other up to get to the end first. Are you actually cooperating?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, with Yoshi, we were kind of talking about like some of the stuff that you mentioned at E3, like not having a time limit and being more about exploring the space. And yeah, I think it works well. You can like suck somebody up and use them if you run out of little yarn balls. And sometimes like that the bounce that was so annoying in New Super Mario Bros. Actually feels helpful here for when you need to get to certain ends or spaces.
Meaning you bounce off each other.
Yeah. So like if you just like bounce on each other's heads like that.
And you can finish the game obviously with just one player, but two player for the win. And then so what are you both? You're both playing on the Pro controller?
I'm playing
you're on the gamepad.
He's playing on Pro.
Brad, you definitely recommend the Pro?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I played on the Wiimote at Comic-Con and I wasn't.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't really feeling it.
You don't want that.
What do you aim with? Do you actually move like the analog stick to aim?
I use the trigger, but you can also use the X button. But it just kind of cycles around like that.
Do you own a Wii U, AJ Locascio?
I do not own a Wii U, but I will occasionally play my Wii. No U.
Okay, that's fine. just Wii by itself. What did you play on your Wii?
A lot of Resident Evil 4.
Oh.
And then occasionally some of the classic games.
Mike Huber just played that last Friday.
And for the first time?
No, for the 40th time. But I remarked that one of the reasons, because we were comparing that and Evil Within, and I said that there's some elements that are a little more mature about Evil Within, but RE4 is just so playable. Like it's just like it's just one of those games where I don't think about just playing it. I have to play the entire thing, and it's got New Game Plus, so I'll play that.
Yeah, every time I'm like, I'll just dip into the first, and then it's like, oh, I've beaten it. It's like I'm sweaty, and I'm watching them ride off on the Wave Runner at the spoilers. If you haven't played it, the Wave Runner's not ruining anything for anybody.
Leon lives.
Yeah, exactly. Leon lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game is just effortlessly incredible. Every time someone brings it up, I'm like, Resident Evil 4. Actually, this is a small tangent. My dad randomly, like for one Christmas, like burst into an EB Games. Was like, I need a game for my son, and not that he talks like that.
He does now.
He does now. I need a game for my son. And he was just like, what's a good game? He talks like this, but he's like, I need something cool, something that's he's an adult. He's kind of like an adult. And the guy was like, Resident Evil 4, man. He was like, hey, he's gonna like it. He's like, just change it. Trust me, he'll like it. And he brought it home, and I was like, I read it like I'd never heard of a Resident Evil game before. I was like, I don't know, Dad. And I put it in. I was just like, this is the greatest thing.
That was the Wii version that he got you?
It wasn't the Wii. It was the PS2 version, and then I bought it again on Wii.
Ah, okay.
That's how good it is. Yeah, or maybe it's PS3. What was it? No, it was PS2.
It was GameCube and then PS2, and then
I think I had
Wii and then
version.
PC or PC and then Wii. I can't remember. It came out on PC first.
It's so good.
I think Wii and then
extremely
PC.
good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you didn't play RE4 when it came out. What games do you have to play? Like what franchises are you just all about, if any?
Uncharted?
You don't have to be.
No, it's
okay.
Uncharted. I'm a big Uncharted fan. Yeah, I love Uncharted. Ian's what?
Yeah, Ian's playing the Nathan Drake collection right
I'm
now.
finally
currently.
giving it a try.
Have you never played Uncharted,
It's
Ian?
obscenely
Never
large
played
projector.
it. I played 2 for like 20 minutes, and I was like, I hate the cover system. I'm never playing this.
Wow.
And then now I'm playing the re-release, whatever. It's fun. It's fun.
It's fun. Yeah, I love the scenery, the whole thing. I love Nolan North.
That's the thing I like is like going through the town, and I was like, man, there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
That's what I was noticing. I like the story. Running around and shooting things is getting a little old, but playing it is. I'm not loving that, but
the game aspect of it. Ian's not a fan of.
But the TV show element, I'm loving.
Dark Souls. That's he turned me onto that. Ian was like, every day he would burst into why aren't you playing Dark Souls? Because I obviously love the whole
I'll
Gothic
always be there to
aesthetic
turn you on, AJ.
I was almost I was the last guy standing with the Soul series in the office.
Were you?
Yeah.
I thought that was well, it was.
It's like a horror film in the insane asylum, and I'm like the last one, like one of us, and then I got bit by Bloodborne, and now I'm like Dark Souls 3. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. I haven't played Bloodborne yet, just because of the PS4 thing. As I'm like, I have to purchase the PS4, and it's slightly different.
Bloodborne coming to the Wii U? And do we know Bloodworth? Anything?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, next month. Yeah.
Is that okay? Cool.
Sony's putting it out as a pity
Paris
release.
Games Week. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
pity
Nice.
release.
It's gonna just be an app. It's gonna be a phone game. Port. That'll be wonderful.
If Twitch can play it, anybody can play that game, man. Aye.
Well, that was the thing where they couldn't get past the Undead Asylum for like 7 days or something insane, or like an entire week.
They changed the way it worked then, where it like would pause and then the most voted for element would go forward. Because when it was everything, it was just impossible. But then they changed it so it would pause. They beat the game. They beat Dark Souls 1. They're on Dark Souls 2.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Chad is chanting "one of us."
Google
Horchata?
Google
One of us.
One of us.
That's the name of the person that was horchata. What just happened?
What?
What did I thought you said horchata
I
is
said-
chanting one of us. Like, who is this horchata?
No, chat.
Oh, our chat is chanting one of
But
us.
remind me to
Okay.
claim the
Horchata.
Twitch.
Horchata.
Remind me to claim the Twitch handle horchata.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They're delicious.
Delicious.
I expect that to show up any second now. Horchata.
Hashtag horchata. Gat horchata.
Horchata.
So we're going to talk a little bit about our GT countdown, but I want to touch a little bit more on this series that people call Back to the Future.
Yes.
That you seem to be tied to. Are you sick of it? I mean, is it something that you're just like, no, whatever, like, at any and all times, please attach me to this thing I love, this amazing series.
I mean, it's still. I mean, I'm such a huge fan. You guys all know. But it's just specifically, like, I'm a huge fan of that, Indiana Jones, like all those things that you grew up with. It's just like, yeah, whatever you need, I'll do it. I mean, you do get some stuff, or I get offered some stuff, or asked to do some stuff that's just like, that sounds like it's going to be really bad, and you're all kind of crazy. So some of that stuff, I'm like, hey guys, I kind of can't. But like anything and everything I can do to, you know, to do Marty or voice Marty, it's fun.
And this is a big year, so we got. I mean, we're days away from going Back to the Future, from actually that date, which people for years and years would foil everyone on Facebook and on social media by just being like, "Hey guys, it's this month.
It's Future Day." I hate every single and they're always someone really sweet that's like, "Hey AJ, did you know?" And I'm like, "No!" Like throw my computer at the screen or at the screen.
So exactly.
I have another screen behind my screen.
You just find another screen. Hold it up until you find one. There's got to be a Best Buy around here somewhere.
Running around, yeah.
So I had to I had like double, triple, quadruple check when I finally saw it. They're like, no, it actually is this month. And I'm like, I think I did know that, but I just want to make sure.
It's the 21st. Right?
Yeah.
It's the 20. It's been said so many times now where they're like, did you know today, August 11th?
And it's creepy. So Universal released the trailer for Jaws 19. The Cubs are in the playoffs.
Did they?
Whoa!
You haven't seen the Jaws 19 trailer?
No,
I
did not.
What is Jaws 19?
Well, he goes to the future and in the Hill Valley Square. There's a movie theater, and the movie is showing Jaws 19.
But no, like did they make a movie?
They made a trailer.
A fake trailer. Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
And
I didn't know that.
They showed you're just going underwater, so it's just water footage, and then they bring in titles for all of them, but they explain like what they were. And like some of them sound pretty cool. Jaws 10 is him versus all of the terrors of the deep.
I'd watch
so it's like Jaws versus the Kraken versus Leviathan versus Loch Ness Monster. I was like, yes.
That's amazing.
One's like Robo Jaws. One's like Jaws 18 was the reboot, and then the 19th the sequel to the reboot. And like, yeah, it's pretty great. And the Cubs are in the playoffs, which is
insane.
Totally insane.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no like I might just give up on reality if they actually win the series this year. Like I don't even know what to think.
You know what you should do?
Just takes a knee, basically. Like it just. I hope that would be crazy. That'd be insane.
So all those events are coming up. The project that you were involved in, Back to the Future, the game, is that the official title? That was one of the first things. This was before Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
This was kind of like the Aladdin or the Toy Story, if you will, where it's just like lots of awesome things happen following that. And so that's coming out, and Lego Dimensions, which I don't know if you've gotten your hands on yet.
I haven't played it yet, but I've watched some of the footage. It looks insane.
All sorts of extra stuff. So they got a whole like level pack that you can play that recaps all of the films, or you can just go to like a little hub that's just Hill Valley, but it's in all the different time periods. You like get in a thing and go back in time, and then like fix the clock, and then when you go back to 85, the clock's there, and you can. I
watched it. I think I like looked it up on YouTube, and I was like, this looks insane. I would lose so many years of my life playing this. I'd just be like, I'm going to Hill Valley. And I'm gonna hang out with Scooby-Doo and Batman, and like, yeah, it's one of those things that looks so good. I'm like, I must stay away. Michael
J. Fox came back for the first time ever, right?
He's never
actually voiced Marty.
Does that really burn you up inside?
I was getting to that. That was leading up to it.
Oh, who is this Michael? No, he's in the game. He's in the Telltale game.
Oh, that's
I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, he is in it for certain reasons and certain characters.
As A J Locascio.
As A J Locascio. It's this really weird. But yeah, I found that out way before they announced it, because I was talking to, I think it was Bob Gale about it, because someone had been like, do you know any Martys?
Like you do.
Yeah. I just talked to Bob.
He just
up with Bobby emailed me this morning about the Cubs, which is actually true. I don't know if I'm on an email list, but it's awesome. Every once in a while I'll be like, Bob Gale, send me an email. He's so sweet, though, that it's just like, yeah, he would. He's such a nice guy. But anyway, what were we talking about? What was the...
Just
Marty McFly.
Michael J. Fox actually coming back and voicing.
Yeah,
Marty.
that's awesome. And he sounds amazing.
And it's Oh no, he doesn't sound a day older.
Yeah, he sounds like that's
incredible.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if he's like putting on a voice or something, or like trying to channel that, or if he's just like.
When I heard
that's me,
like,
guys.
Yeah.
But I love it. He also voices like, I don't remember his his Irish like ancestor.
Yeah, I saw that part.
Film. And his like
Seamus
and his daughter.
Yeah,
he's like like an airhead. Like
is it Marlene
or
Darlene or
Darlene or something?
It must be Marlene because Marty and.
Sure. But
he sounds amazing.
Not only voices Marty, but does those people. So what a treat. If you can't get Mr. Locascio, the only other acceptable
alternative. Might as well get the original and way better Marty McFly.
Michael J. Fox to return to the role. So yeah, anything else Back to the Future happening? So we got the game's
there's
coming back.
Tom Wilson's also in. He reprised his role as Biff in the new game for the HD for the re-release.
Oh, cool.
He came in and did all his Biff lines and all the alternate Biffs and all that stuff, which is insane. It's super cool. And there's a hilarious outtake or I guess moment in the interview they did where they asked him like, "What'd you think about AJ Locascio?" He's like, "He stinks." Next question.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes, that's the best thing he could have said."
He's a funny guy. He's
hilarious.
If you look up his stuff on YouTube, he's actually got some really good musical stand-up stuff that he does. He's a crack up. So really quick, we actually have a clip this week for number 11. So we're gonna talk really briefly before we get to the midpoint of the show on what our countdown is for this week. We're getting a little obscene with this countdown. We have to bleep ourselves this week because we are going to be talking about the top 10 games that effed us. You didn't have one, Elise.
No.
You're pretty passive when it comes to games.
I'm very pure.
You
I
don't
would
really
never
get
use that kind of language,
aggravated.
Brandon.
But Brad's got one. Blood's got a couple. I got 2. Ian's got 2. It is a unconventional countdown. So instead of actually writing entries and having myself voice it and putting game footage over that, we all sat down, looked right into the camera, and talked about games that effed us. And so by effed us, we mean because like you're
Glover.
Right.
I'm just throwing that out there. It's the worst game I've ever played in my life.
Well,
I've played some bad
but that's the
games.
thing. It's like I would have enjoyed this game. I would have possibly finished this game or spent more time with this game. But something happened in there that's not just like, oh, I don't like open world games. It's like it's something just broke. Like just
That's cool.
something glitched out, or you did like some switch didn't work, or there was some rule that I didn't know that you didn't explain to me that screwed me out of some part of the game. And Daniel Bloodworth was kind enough to give us 3 different entries for the list. We can only fit 2 on, so his third becomes number 11 this week. A sad story of Mr. Bloodworth playing or failing to play and finish Final Fantasy V. Take a look.
Final Fantasy V really messed me up. And it's a weird situation because Final Fantasy V didn't come out in the US, right? So when it did finally come out on the PlayStation collection, I grabbed that, but then I never actually got time to play it until much later on my PS3. I was like, I'm going to catch up on Final Fantasy games. I'll take the PS3 home with me for the Christmas break, and I'll play through Final Fantasy V. Then, as I'm playing through it, I find out that there is a weird incompatibility between the PlayStation Final Fantasy V and the PS3. And so when I go to save, half the time at least, it would just crash. And so I decided the brilliant plan to get over this and keep playing Final Fantasy V, I just keep the PS3 on and I would grind. I'm on vacation, so whatever. I'll grind, I'll overlevel, and then I'll just, play through the story. That worked for several days. And then I get to this boss called Atamos, who not only kills your character, but sucks them into himself, into another portal, so you can't revive them. And after that, I couldn't do anything. I got totally wasted by that boss, and I lost about 30 hours of progress, and that was the end of Final Fantasy V for me.
Coming back with an explosion. Was that locked and loaded, or did you want to come back? It's a badass.
I intentionally put that back in for AJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
For all of the transitions? Are we going to come out of the badass trailer with an explosion?
We can. Anytime I hit, for example, this auto button.
Yeah.
What? And there's a big sound effect, too. It's ridiculous. It's like, what? Yeah, but...
Oh man, it's like Chuck E. Cheese up in here. There are no rules. Isn't that their slogan? No rules.
And there's alcohol now.
At Chuck E. Cheese?
Chuck E. Cheese.
Those kids can't handle that.
Yeah, I don't know if
That is
it's nationwide, but I know at certain locations they're testing.
At least
having,
that'll counteract all the
like
germs
coffee,
on
like
everything.
Starbucks and beer and.
I think in Canada you can get alcohol at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, but Canada's weird.
With enough tickets, you can get a 40. That's excuse me,
At
sir.
IKEA,
Mommy stole all my tickets.
you can get beer at IKEA in Canada for sure.
Really?
I know.
That's like a low,
Don't ask
low,
me
low.
how.
You know what? I'd really like to go to IKEA and get a beer. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Not that I don't like IKEA. They don't endorse the show or anything, do they? That or beer.
Not anymore.
Oh, okay, good.
Bud, can you get IKEA on the phone? So what do we? Okay, so you got a Shy Guy mask, I see. How are we working on progression? How far do you think you're going to get through this game?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm not actually progressing right now. We're just going and replaying levels. Because,
You've betrayed us for the
I'm
last
almost at the
time.
end of the game, so I don't want to, like, just show the end of the game inadvertently on the stream.
Something trailer? I'm sorry, Ian?
I said he's betrayed us for the last time.
Oh, I hear the word trailer because I like trailers.
You're obsessed.
Speaking of trailers, I got a badass trailer for you guys. This trailer I actually scored. I score some trailers every now and then, and I hadn't
that score.
Oh no, that'd be
Oh, I was like, really?
And I'm gonna live score it right now. No, this is a trailer for Halo 5. I definitely did not score this. And neither did Marty O'Donnell. Hey-o. But they have two. I had to specify it's not the launch trailer because there's a launch spot and there's a launch gameplay trailer. So this is specifically the launch gameplay trailer, and I think it gets a little cheesy with the selection of music, but it is nonetheless badass. Check it out.
Spartan Locke. I have spent enough years with Oni to know the truth. Once this is over, after all we have done, they will order you to kill us both.
All the doors are locked. Everything's going dark.
Mayday, Mayday, this is Corporal Boudreaux. Some kind of pulse knocking everything offline.
Over the last 72 hours, 5 colonies have experienced identical events. Massive destruction.
Hostile contact!
Go! Run!
I tried to warn you this was happening.
I mean, how are we even supposed to bring them in? Ask politely.
You're to return to Infinity immediately.
Negative infinity. I don't like it.
117, stand down. This is your one chance to come home peacefully.
I have a job to do.
No one's gonna take me alive. You and I must fight to survive. Contact!
Twice.
Well, we're counting now?
You have the firepower to get us in there.
Rock, you get one shot. Now!
No one's gonna take me
I saw people in the comments. Oh, what? Did
Alien hand.
Darth Vader do a wipe out of that? What?
Alien hand.
Alien hand.
Oh boy.
Alien hand.
What? I guess it's appropriate that an alien like ate that trailer.
Look at that.
The
That's
Covenant just
beautiful.
came in.
Whoa.
Ah! It's just completely out of control.
That's amazing.
You haven't noticed the other thing I've been doing the whole episode.
There's a
I guess
oh, that
not.
camera's on. I didn't even see that camera.
Yeah.
That's yours.
I
You
looked
have your
right
own
through it like
camera.
a true professional actor.
Man, that's really good. Man.
That's wonderful.
Anyway.
They're like lizard hands, like the lizard.
So when are we doing a show, you guys?
What?
Oh, we're doing a show right now.
Are we? Oh, good
Here's the
morning.
show.
Speaking of doing a show, there's a segment that we came up with that we have had some voice actors on the show and not done with them because we have not had time to set it up. What, Ian?
This
what?
one's really funny. It goes whew. It's so stupid.
That
All
one
right,
upsets
sorry.
me. I'm done with you. It's like Tinder or one of those fancy dating apps you kids have now.
It's like I'm hosting one show, but everyone's watching a different show. You know, it's like I only know about 60% of the show that we're putting on. But hopefully we can do this as rehearsed. So we had a bit we called Cutscene Theater that we had with some of the voiceover actors we brought on the show before. And it's always tricky figuring out like what is a good fit for the people that we're bringing in. You know, if we have a man and a woman, or two men or two women, or just one, like what would be a good thing that originally did not have voiceover that we're going to add voiceover to. I know Mr. Locascio is coming in. I was like, oh, Fate of Atlantis. We're doing Indiana Jones: The Fate of Atlantis, which I didn't know actually did get voiceover after launch. So when Fate of Atlantis first came out, it did not have voiceover, but then was later released on CD-ROM, and LucasArts added VO later. So somebody did do a moderate attempt at recreating the verbiage of Mr. Harrison Ford.
It's hard to do.
But it is something that you have done. It is something there's actually proof on YouTube of you.
Yeah, it exists out there.
Of doing it in the booth. You can see, Mr. Locascio bouncing back and forth between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery.
Keep calling me Mr. Locascio. What have I done? That's
Senor
so worthy
Locassius.
of it. Thank you. That's Locassius.
But I'm going in this scene. I'm going to be playing Smith, who is a German. Elise Williams is going to be playing Mr. Marcus Brody.
Righto. I don't know.
And in the role of Mr. Indiana Jones, Mr. A J Locascio, kicking it off. Ladies and gentlemen,
okay.
Cutscene Theater.
I'm back.
Indy?
You don't look at all well, Dr. Jones.
Exploring our collections can be dangerous, Mr. What was your name again?
Smith. Tell me, did you find a lock to match my key?
You bet I did. Take a look.
What are you waiting for? Let's open it.
Why not? It's obviously a fake.
You may think so, Doctor, but I believe we're opening a new chapter in history.
It's quite a pause.
My word, Indy. A small metal bead. Jewelry, perhaps?
I still think it's a fake.
Then you won't mind if I take it!
Really, Mr. Smith?
Stand back, gentlemen.
I hope you've got a getaway car waiting. You'll need one.
Voiced Fritz.
He got away!
But we got his coat, Marcus. Hey, what's this? Klaus Kerner, huh?
Good lord, Indy. The man's some sort of agent from the Third Reich. What does a spy want with a phony statue?
Sigh. I lied, Marcus. I don't think it's a phony. I can't place a style, but it's old.
Look what else our friend was carrying. An old copy of National Archaeology, and there you are in Iceland.
Yeah, a field supervisor for the Jastro expedition. My first real job.
Who's
Sorry.
the woman?
Yeah, that's Sophia Hapgood. A spoiled rich kid from Boston rebelling against her family.
Where is she now?
She gave up archaeology to become a psychic.
How odd.
You could say that again.
How odd. Indy, Kerner found you. What if he finds her? We should warn the woman.
You're right. I want to know more about that statue. Damn it, Marcus. You know, Marcus, the coldest year of my life was the one I spent in Iceland with Sophia. Oh, goodbye.
Boy, my arm's tired.
Gutsy! That was incredible. Indy was a little Mrs. Doubtfire. Or not,
aliens loading bay wipe. One more time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Put a stamp on that.
Yay!
It makes that noise.
I love the Fate of Atlantis. If anybody doesn't know about Indiana Jones: The Fate of Atlantis, you can actually get, what was it, Good Old Games? Somebody got that recently. Somebody got that up and running. Both Last Crusade and Fate of Atlantis
really?
are playable somewhere. Yeah, on the web.
Can play it on the internet.
You can go and get those games somewhere. But those are great. They did Last Crusade after that. But that was like one of the first Because I don't know if you read the Choose Your Own Adventure Indiana Jones books back in the day.
Yes, I did. I still own them and the novelized, just the regular stories.
Being able to play through an interactive indie adventure that I did not know, that was making decisions and I didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
You go in a submarine it's so sweet. It's a really cool game. So if you've missed Fate of Atlantis, definitely check it out. Thank you, Mr. Locascio, for humoring us. How we doing on questions?
I got so many questions that
questions.
Just didn't need any more.
You just
don't need no more questions.
I stopped with the questions.
We should probably check in, not one last time, but we should just check in really quick before we just go back to AJ, do everything about Mr. Locascio.
No.
Yoshi's Woolly World, how we doing? Is this game hard, Brad?
Is it woolly?
Is it challenging?
No, it's not hard. But this game has really interesting level design, actually. It's a lot more sophisticated than I thought it would be from a Yoshi game. So I'm impressed.
You can tell that it's woolly, can't you, AJ?
I can see the woolliness. Brandon. we were trying to decide whether the name was Brando before, or was it... I choked saying your name. I was like,
I'm Brando and you're Mr. Locascio.
Yes. Brando musical note.
Yeah.
Brando.
Sorry. I do.
You guys are talking about a game. Was that it? It's woolly?
Yeah.
What would you ask? Oh, okay. Cool.
If it's just if it's tough. I mean, just where is the difficult coming in from? The platforming stuff you have to do. Is it because it looks like you're trying to problem solve with some objects here.
Yeah.
So you'd have to know how to do that, I guess. It kind of reminds me a little bit of I want to call it Yarny, but Unravel.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember. Unravel.
But I mean, obviously but obviously the yarn is a connection, but there's just a lot of physics-based puzzle solving where you have to that's right, I walked by that rock 30 seconds ago, I'll go back and hook onto it and then move it in.
That's cool.
But
Little Big Planet meets kind of like Hungry Hungry Hippos meets Yoshi's Island. That's the little balls reminded me of Hungry Hungry Hippos as well. I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna stop myself because
I think they can run with that. Hashtag Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Do they have their own Twitter account?
Hungry Hippos. They must.
Yeah.
I wonder. Was it Hasbro? Who made Hungry Hungry Hippos?
That sounds about right. Hasbro.
Yeah.
Formerly Kenner.
Or Milton Bradley.
Oh, okay.
One of those.
From
Chat will let us know. Speaking of chat, let's get some questions. Let's get some good ones. Get some tough ones. Let's make them squirm.
All right, here we go. AJ,
it's pretty cold in here. I'm already squirmy.
This is from a Zebra Parade.
Zebra Parade.
Zebra Parade. AJ, if you could voice any other movie actor from the 80s, who would it be?
From the 80s?
Yeah, you can answer this too, because this probably...
Van Damme.
I can't even do... He's got such a special voice.
Van Damme was in the 80s. He wasn't just 90s, right?
He is in all times. He's been around.
Kickboxer was 80s. And
there's photos of him in the Civil War.
Just
that's Van Damme! And then he suddenly
kicking.
disappears. Maybe I dreamed it. I'd love to voice Indy for something, or some younger Harrison Ford character would be fun. But God, 80s is...
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal, yeah. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Steven Seagal. I don't know, that's a tough question. My brain is blank.
No issues. This is from
it.
Cake Batter.
I have a slight issue with it, but I'll let it pass.
What's the issue? I want to know the issue. Give me the issues.
You can't think of anybody? You can't think of another?
My brain just went.
You have.
Yeah, God,
Corey Feldman.
I just keep thinking.
There you go.
Corey Feldman's got such a specific
You from Lost Boys?
Yeah, he's
Corey Haim.
He's got a. Well, I just think about him as Donatello, cool man. He's got a. You can't do Corey Feldman. He does. Corey Feldman does Corey Feldman.
It's from Cake Batter. Favorite ghost in Haunted Mansion?
There's 999 of them.
I love the tightrope girl in the portrait, although she's not technically a ghost. Who's Emily, I think her name is, or something. There's some fan theories on what her name is, but you guys know the portrait with the tightrope, and she's got the crazy eyes. She's got them crazy eyes. Although I guess she's not a ghost.
What I love though is that because they did D23 this past summer, you go to D23 and there was a lady who had a pet alligator that was walking around in that outfit. And I was just patted myself on the back that I knew who she was. From seeing someone in the dress. I was like, oh my god.
They had officially at Disneyland, they had someone dressed up like that, and my girlfriend took a picture with her, and I was like, that's the coolest thing. It's so funny to geek out it's a girl in a dress. I'm like, that's so cool. But yeah,
that's why I love you, Jay. Mine is because it's my favorite ride at Disneyland. I like the shadow that's playing the piano.
Yes, I love that guy. Every time I come around the corner,
such a simple effect. Yeah, but they his actual fingers hit the keys when he
I have like deja vu every time I see that specific moment because you come around the corner. I'm just like, oh, that part's so cool because you always forget he's there. He's just wailing away. Yeah, I love him. And the old bride, not the new bride.
This is from Christ Ion.
What?
Wait, what is this?
Christian, maybe?
Well, it's spelled Christ
Christion.
_Ion.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Wait, what is this Jeff Goldblum credit on IMDb?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to go into it. I just said, I voiced Jeff Goldblum in, was it 30 Flights 11? He's, It's just that over and over again. Right. Yeah, sure. Ooh. And I think he's probably snuck into something else after that. But, yeah, they had a Jake Rodkin of, I guess now they're Campo Santo or whatever. I can't remember their names as far as their company goes. But he asked me, he's like, hey, can you do, and Brendan Chung, like, can you do an impression of Jeff Goldblum for A World of Goldblums in 30 Flights 11? It's like a special secret alternate universe of the game where it's only Jeff Goldblums. And I was like, yeah, give me like a day to listen to his stuff. And then, yeah, so that's where that came from.
I remember when, I think were you like posting that on like SoundCloud, like all your Jeff Goldblums? Because I think I listened to your Jeff Goldblum laugh.
I have the laugh. I think I have just the laugh somewhere floating around, but it's definitely on my reel. It's hard to do. It's gotta come from the heart.
Guttural.
Yeah.
He has a follow-up question: Indiana Jones or Han Solo?
Indiana Jones. That's
Wait, so wait, like
it just
like favorite I'd want to meet, win in a fight. Like what's the?
Yeah, that's nothing specific.
You guys can add qualifiers if you want. He just asked the simple question.
I mean, I'm such a huge Indiana Jones fan. I mean, Han Solo I love, but as a kid I was always more into Luke because he was the kid and Han was just like, I'm a jerk, and that was just kind of what he did. And whereas Indy was just always sort of he's the nice guy and trying to keep up.
I like to try to point out Han Solo moments in indie films and indie moments in Han Solo films.
Yeah.
I always thought going into the Falcon and everything shuts down and he goes hits it. I always thought that was an indie move.
Yeah.
A little bit of Indiana Jones in there.
This is a little more of a serious question from Dante the Pyro.
Is that in reference to Zuko from Avatar? Dante Bosco and the fact that he's a firebender. Sorry, just throwing out my.
We can ask him.
Nerd cred.
I doubt it.
Nice. I just like to burn things.
I'll try to watch chat.
Or Dante's
to see if
Inferno.
he confirms.
Sorry, what was the question?
A little more serious, and I don't know if you have a position on this or if this affects your work right now or anything, but he wants to know your views on the SAG after strike and whether you see it actually making it as far as the strike, or if I know they've voted 96%, but could they turn around? How do you feel about
How do I feel about
situation?
the strike? I'm so new. I'm just like, can't we all just get along? I mean, I understand it for people that have been doing like really, really big games and stuff that are just like, these games make so much money. It makes sense, to have some sort of, because you do put, and I don't think people quite realize how much physical work you put into it. So it makes sense that there are some crazy demands that I think are in the new. I'm not the most versed person on this. There are some pretty crazy demands about like fines you can get if you're like unattentive and stuff like that, which apparently is in like some sort of new proposal.
Which as your prior manager, AJ, I definitely caught you being unattentive.
My attention span flies away like a hummingbird that's done with his feet. I'm just like, but yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah, that's happening. Go team. I just want to voice things, so I don't, I obviously support my fellow voice actors, but
you'd like work.
I'm like, yeah, that's cool, and more money is always good, but I'm always just I'm just like, I just want to do the thing. It's so
scabbing it.
I won't do that.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
But just show up like, hey guys, I got a fake mustache and a trench coat, and I'll voice it.
You're like, it's me, Nolan North.
Yeah, hey, his brother, Tim North.
Yeah, I guess that would be the advantage if you wanted to like. You could, as a voice actor, you could just show up and pretend like you're anyone else.
I guess that's true. Just do this. Like, hey, we don't recognize that face.
Yeah.
I sort of dance my way around that question. I don't have a really strong answer on that.
Then dance, damn you, dance!
This question is from another Christ Ion.
The same guy? Or is it two?
Another question. Same guy. Christ Ion 2.
Who collected these questions?
I did. I did. He's got good questions. So he wanted to know, in relation to your role as Marty McFly, where would you travel if you ever got your hands on a DeLorean?
Ooh.
A time-traveling DeLorean, I'm assuming.
Yeah, just Kmart
Yes,
or
I got a DeLorean. Let's go to
7-Eleven.
I have two weird answers to that, and that I think about all the time. One would be to go back to the 50s and visit like the 40s rather, to visit like the heyday of Hollywood and how cool it is and sort of like up and coming and just the way you imagine it in like The Rocketeer, where it's like it's so golden and happy. And the other one is, this is the kid in me speaking, and this is so nerdy. Thank God I have a girlfriend. Is I would go back to like when Star Wars came out and buy as many action figures as I possibly could and just like hoard it and then be like, we're going back to the future. Come on, Doc. I got all these action figures. Marty, that would be the worst. You know, I had to time travel for something else. And but yeah, I used to fantasize about that as a kid, as just collecting really dumb action figures that I couldn't get. But that's purely the child in me speaking. Where would you travel? I'm more interested in that.
That would be July 16th, 1955.
Why?
That was the opening of Disneyland. It might be the 13th.
But that was gross.
I think it might be July 13th. Oh, it was horrible.
It was,
it
feel like the tar was
still...
That
was a bad day.
Yeah,
it was very hot. Yeah,
people were getting trampled.
I'm going to take the first brick out of the Berlin Wall.
Wow.
Moment in history, people.
Just pushing people out of
1984. It's not coming down yet. 5 more years.
So you get back in time, and then you have to put your car somewhere, then fly to Berlin.
Yeah.
That would be... Although Disneyland's a really good one. Damn it. My answer sucked.
You getting some Rocketeer love in the comments, though.
Oh, good. Yes. Love the Rocketeer.
This is from Vega Bison Abel. AJ, what element bender would you be in the Avatar universe?
That's weirdly always up for debate with Justin.
Comes up a lot.
Yeah, comes up a lot with them. The whole Hey Ash crew is weirdly obsessed with what bender you'd be. I think they keep saying air would be mine. I guess air. I don't know.
Yeah, air or earth.
Can you pick, or is it like a Hogwarts house?
Is
it just like,
oh
no, you're Earth.
Yeah.
Well, it gets into like what you think you are, but then everyone else like looks at you and then they're like, no, I think you're air.
Yeah, I think my siblings would say fire, because when I'm around my brothers and sisters, I'm always just like, I'm cranky. I don't know why that is. It's just the older brother's way to be.
Toph was pretty cranky, and she was earthbender.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd probably be fire.
I was always water or air.
That's such a tough... It's hard to make your own and be like, I'd be in Slytherin. It's like, you're a jerk.
I would be water.
Well, that's the thing, is I would be in Slytherin. I know that.
You'd be
water.
So like, Slytherin's fire, I'm guessing. You know, just kind of the same thing. Like,
I got
Gryffindor.
People who try to be in charge. People who,
on that website.
Like, tons of opinions. And,
oh, that's funny. Yeah, I always get Gryffindor with the... I always just want to be what the hero is, I think, secretly. But like, I always get Gryffindor in all those damn tests, and I always, especially Pottermore, I specifically take them.
But you want to be with the heroes. You're adventurous, and I think that's the main thing about Gryffindors.
Yeah, I'm like, hey,
tied it back to Harry Potter. That one's for you, honey.
Travis Teaspoon.
That is the greatest name.
He brought up the Kevin Smith story.
Yes.
So would you tell us the story, if you will, about how he mentioned you and the aftermath?
Yeah. So he did a segment on. I'm sorry, Telltale. I mean, he did a pretty blue.
I didn't know what it was, but I just remembered.
Yeah. He did a segment that was pretty crazy. It was pretty rough about Michael J. Fox and said some pretty terrible things. It was amusing, but pretty damn offensive. And but I heard it. And he, like a year later, I found out that he had animated that segment, and he had actually animated the director of the game, Dennis, and me in like the outfit I'm wearing in my interviews. It's really weird. And like I was up on Netflix, and I was like, oh my God. And it was crazy. But just recently, I was at the diner, Kitchen 24 in Hollywood. That's so Hollywood. And he walked in. It was Father's Day. As I was walking out, and I saw him at the table, and I told my girlfriend, I was like, that's Kevin Smith. And she was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And I was like, I kind of want to mention the Back to the Future thing. You think that'd be cool? He's with his family. I don't know if that'd be weird. And she was like, you have to. And I was like, really? And she's like the most unstarstruck person. She's like, you have to talk to him. And so I went up to him. I was like, hey man, like you animated me and talked about me on your podcast like once or twice. And I was Marty McFly in the Back to the Future game. He was like, whoa. Like it's sort of like, there was like this moment where he was like, whoa. And he said this cool thing about like, he was like, it's like meeting a rock star. That's like my favorite segment we've done. And he was super nice and like just really complimentary and cool. And he was like, yeah, that's the one where you're like the human hermit crab, and like quoted it. And I was like, wow, that's crazy you remember that. But yeah, super, super offensive, but I'm a big fan of Kevin Smith. So I was like, this is really cool despite the fact that I'm obviously a big Michael J. Fox fan, and I was like, ooh, that's rough. And obviously don't agree with the views shared by Mr. Smith. I'm just saying all this so Telltale doesn't get mad at me or Michael J. Fox. But yeah, that's basically that story. I bumped into it, got to talk to him, and he was super, super sweet.
Michael's in the comments, right? Don't we? MJ usually comes by and hangs out in the comments.
The real Marty McFly.
He's actually, he was the Christ Ion.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that's MJ. Sorry. BarrelBot wants to know, what is one voice you'd love to be able to do, but you just can't?
Donald Duck.
Oh, good. He's got that locked and loaded. I love it.
God, that kills me. Chris can do such a good Donald Duck.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
good.
and that's when I was a kid, I wanted to do it, but I'll be driving, I'll be like, and I can't get the actual voice out.
That's
it's
pretty
just,
good.
That seemed close.
I just sound like Abu having an asthma attack in Aladdin, and that's as far as I can get.
It's like borderline ventriloquism, you know?
It's
like
insane.
You can actually have. I mean, that's like D. Bradley Baker levels.
It seems
painful. You're watching a human. You're like, what's happening? You know, I want to like Ant-Man just go in your mouth and just see what's going on in there.
Don't want to go in his.
I'm gonna do it.
Saw him the other day, and we did a scene where he's in the show that I'm with, the Croods, and he does all the animals and stuff. And the other day they're just like, all right, D, we need you to voice the it's a bunch of cats, like, you know, and stuff, and like he's just sitting there going like, he's like making all the, and it's just he's never seen it before too. He's just following the picture and like doing all these crazy. It's insane. His stuff he's insane. I mean, he's the nicest guy, and he's just this incredible. I'm not just trying to, you know, blow up his ego. I'm sure he's heard this a million times, but his talent is something else. It's crazy. But yes, Donald Duck he could probably do.
And he's been in the industry for so long, and it's crazy to see him work with, I think it was in like Infamous or something, like to see him in games now and work with, you know, people like Insomniac or something, and like and they're surprised when they get him in the booth. They're like, oh, I can't believe how good you are. And it's like, you don't know who this is?
You don't know who this is? He was Olmec in Legends of the Hidden Temple. That was the first thing I said to him. They were like, AJ, D. Bradley Baker's going to be coming in today. And I was like, D. Bradley Baker? He was the voice of Olmec. And then I went up to him and I was like, Mr. D, sir. I still act like this around him. Every time I say, Mr. D, you're so talented. You voiced Olmec in Legends of the Hidden. I don't know if you remember.
He forgot.
He was like, oh, yes, whatever. No, he's like, wow. He was super excited that someone like knew that, I guess, and so we talked about that for a little while, and I was like, my girlfriend loves Momo from Avatar, and so anytime you mention a voice, he'll do it really quick, and he was just super cool about it. But yeah, he told me some inside stuff about Legends of the Hidden Temple. It felt pretty special.
Nice.
Yeah.
Didn't
it
they
wasn't
go like
anything crazy, but
they'd have like crazy drunken like parties in there?
The kids would.
The
The children.
Oh.
After the temple run, they'd get them super drunk, like, no! Now run around.
I don't like this.
Yeah, this hurts me.
$50,000 on the line. Move it.
And enjoy your Skechers and a year's supply of fruit by the foot. Here's Aladdin on VHS. Now go!
And a terrifying man is going to jump out of nowhere and grab you.
Every 10 minutes, a guy in a loincloth and mask is to come out to lightning and drum noises.
That's the scariest thing.
Give him your coin. I love that show. I have that show on DVD or like something.
Is that like a Blu-ray?
They're
Is there
on
a box?
DVD.
Well, it's not an official box set. I had someone who had somehow recorded it or had copies of it, and so I have it, and they're super precious. I love them.
It's like, would you want a like crystal clear version of that show?
No,
or would you want it to have like old VHS
it's like
lines on it?
It's like YouTube circa like 2002 quality, where you're like, I think those are children. It's not. It's really easy.
Like commercials included.
There are some commercials on it, which are awesome because they're like Nickelodeon magazine, please, and all that Nickelodeon. God, the things that are burned into my brain.
Those whole, oh man.
The colors, Duke. The colors. I'm colorblind, kid. Sorry. Hopefully that
so
was
good. I got it.
Yeah, the popsicles.
I got it.
Yeah. Gonna be a scorcher. Cool.
Enzo.
The Sears commercial.
Matarakusu wants to know.
What? Mattress.
One
more
question.
I don't make the Twitch handles.
The Twitter.
AJ, thoughts on Super Paper Mario? Well, it's not Super Paper. Thoughts on Paper Mario 1000-Year Door on the GameCube?
Never heard of it. Next question.
Really?
Never heard of it.
I don't know what that
Paper
is.
Mario 1000-Year Door on the GameCube?
Nope. Wait, why was that a question for me? What's his name? He's gonna get a stern letter. You should know better. Do your research, Enzo. One Mark to Cusco.
It could be your favorite game. You never know.
No, Super Mario World is like one of my favorite games of all time. So I know that, and then Paper Mario. I remember seeing that as a kid, or at some point in my life, and just going, that doesn't click. So you guys all seem weirded out. But is this a new game?
No, GameCube.
No.
I knew so many things, and now I don't know this, and you all hate me. Shut up, Ian.
They hated you long before that.
I know. There's people outside with torches.
Played RE4 on the PS2 and didn't play Thousand Year Doors.
I don't. Is this a game I should play? It
Shunting
sounds-
the GameCube in every corner.
Sorry.
They loved you in the chat, by the way. They really enjoyed you.
Oh, thank you.
But that love is officially stopped. Loved past tense.
Yeah.
Now they're like.
Now
yeah.
the hate begins.
They're lining up outside.
But you know what? It's the end of the show, so.
Yay! I did it. Wait, I don't get a better question after that. I just went down on a.
I mean, that's a pretty good question
That's
if you
on
ask
you.
me.
You started on it.
I know, and then just
bringing it
that's
around.
good. Yeah, just a.
Lots of silly sound effects
What
in this
just
episode
happened?
of GT Live. Really quick, I'm going to talk about cool stuff that's going on GT this week. We mentioned the top 10 games that effed us, which will not have Elise Williams in it because because games are gentle with you, I guess.
And I won't
I
watch.
couldn't think of
Just
anything.
don't really go in for the kill there.
That was.
That or us
worthy
guys are really
enough.
spiteful. Mandatory update, GT Time, Huber Hyde, Final Boss Man, all happening this week. Definitely want to point you towards a show that we put up, I believe, on our main. It was on GT, but we put it up on our main channel, youtube.com/GameTrailers. It's called Don's Design Lab.
What?
Mr.
Don has
Don
a show?
Casanova
Beautiful Don.
made a level in Super Mario Maker. He's made more levels. We're going to be doing more episodes of this, and took multiple members of the GT staff through it, and actually packaged the video together in a very clever way that takes you through the level as everybody's experiencing it for the first time. So I thoroughly enjoyed this, so I recommend you check it out. We're going to be reviewing Dragon Quest Heroes any minute now. Going up today, Mr. Blood? Dragon Quest Heroes review you can check out. That is also Don Casanova's going to be cutting that. Mr. Ben Moore wrote the script.
Ben Moore, he's alive still?
Ben Moore is still alive. Well, I don't know. He's not in this room.
Wait, what's today?
So I can't
Today's
speak for him.
Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Don asked about you.
I miss Don and I miss Ben, but you didn't hear me say that.
He may not be alive by the time the Overwatch beta ends because he's very, very excited for that. I
If
don't know
you
if he's
could
gonna,
call that
Ben
he
also
might not
a
sleep
wonderful
or
human being.
drink fluids or feed himself while that's happening. But yeah,
Intravenous.
lots. I'm sorry.
Intravenous.
Oh.
Like intervene, like
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
What did you think I said? Sorry,
I just
I'm not letting
heard,
you end the show.
I just heard the last two syllables
Yeah.
of that word, and I was
Penis.
like, sorry.
Yeah.
And how are we doing? Can we wrap it up? Is there anything you want to communicate to the people watching this show about the wonder of Yoshi's Woolly World? Couch.
Pretty good. Yeah, we got these puppies here, shooting fire at us. Hot dogs.
This is dynamic stuff.
It's really.
And you got to wrap him up and then you bop him. The old wrap and bop. You can't bop that guy though because he's tucked in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can.
There we go.
I stand corrected.
Popped him.
You can also get those little flame zippers. You can just shoot them and close them up.
Purple Yoshi's my favorite.
I don't have any yarn balls right now.
You got a very specific favorite
Purple
colored Yoshi.
It was blue Yoshi in Super Mario World, but my TV was the wrong color.
He's
so
actually
I grew up thinking
Sonic
it was a
Yoshi.
beautiful.
No.
What was that? Oh, Sonic. Now then, I don't care about him. Yeah, it was like a beautiful purple color, and I remember going, "Purple Yoshi's my favorite." People were like, "There's no purple Yoshi," and I'm like, "No, look." And then I played it on a different TV. I was like, "Oh." Yeah.
Wasn't Purple Yoshi? Wasn't that like a thing in one of the games? Didn't like Damiani do a pop vax on Purple Yoshi or something?
Specifically?
Ooh, man, I don't know.
I might be
There
wrong
was
on
some
that.
game
Might
with
not
little
have been
Yoshis,
TV.
and there was like a whole thing about the colored Yoshi or something. Corrections music.
Who knows?
So is there anything else that you want to let people watching know that is coming up? They got to watch The Croods.
Yeah,
it's just The
Croods on
Croods. They
Netflix.
didn't do a fancy retitling or
It's
anything for the show?
The First Family, maybe might be the subtitle. I'm so
Okay.
bad. I should know this. Why don't I know this? We're gonna for
You
like
know.
a year and a half. Let's see.
Just like Back to the Future. None of those minor hurdles of your life.
Yeah, just a little
If
thing.
you're past it, you're over it.
I got something coming out. A little thing for Nickelodeon happening soon. There's another game I'm in I can't talk about. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of random things that are happening. And then we're going back. There's a Back to the Future event coming out that I'll be a part of to some degree. I don't even remember. Some things will be happening.
And the 21st is the official day.
That's the official day, I believe. Hopefully, I'm gonna get murdered if I'm wrong. That Marty went to the future, and that's hopefully we'll just find ourselves in that future.
It'd be so
Things
great.
fly.
Hoverboarding around, watching Jaws 19.
It's gonna be one. Pepsi Perfects, which is actually happening.
I know.
too.
It's all,
yeah.
it's all happening. And bless this world of nerdery that
Yeah.
people can step up to the plate and do what needs to be done and
Like
make
the
sure
Bears?
that as many exactly are literally stepping up to the plate, making sure as many realities from the Back to the Future universe can happen. One of those realities is having Mr. AJ Locascio on the GT stage. We miss you, man.
I miss you guys too.
It was like legitimate hugs, man. Like when you
Yeah,
came
I
in the room, it was just
genuinely
like
miss you guys,
It was
yeah.
laughter and tears all around. But
There's no job for you here.
Yeah,
Don't
unfortunately,
mistake that.
But I was
in
promised
T
a
minus
job.
60 seconds, I'm going to ask you to leave the building. But until that happens, goodbye, everybody. See you in the next GT Live. Thanks for
Bye.
watching.